page of heroes, legends old. In his stories, their glories unfold. Baz the Bard with strings of gold. His heart cries out the tales he's told.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Meta Report. Oh my god, it's been such a long time since we've hit your screen, but we're back. I've been joined by Scott. How's it going, Scott?
Yeah, really well. Kind of rusty, actually, as you say. It's I'm used to these things chaining together at this point and no breaks between competitive seasons. But we've had a bit of downtime, haven't we? Maybe not on a personal level, but at least in terms of flesh and blood. And yeah, happy to be back. Hopefully to have some good games to talk about. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's skirmish season. It's I would say predominantly aimed at newer players to get people into the tournament scene, but we shall see how it goes. But yeah, you're right. It has been a heck of a long time since we've been here. How's your summer been?
Chaos incarnate, to be entirely honest with you, mate. I won't complain because realistically, it's as a result of going from strength to strength. But yeah, we did some math earlier this month, and I've been on the road more weekends than I haven't so far this year, and we're in August, which is impressive, really. So yeah, enjoying the roller coaster ride while it's happening, but I'm busy in a way I've never been busy before. So yeah, it's honoured, and a lot of exciting things to look forward to. But yeah, quickly learning that I'm glad I lost my hair when I was younger because I'd certainly be losing it now otherwise.
Mate, all good things come to those who wait. You've been beavering away for absolutely ages, and I'm so happy that it's all it's all bearing fruition for you. It's excellent seeing everything that's coming.
Man. I appreciate that. I'll ask the same. How are things? How was your summer?
Summer was good. We took the kids over to Wales, to North Wales. We went to all the zip worlds. So we did sort of like the quarry, we did the forest, and we did the mine. When I was at the mine, we were running late, and like my wife and two kids were ahead of me. You were all flustered, and then all of a sudden I hear the Baz, how's it going? I'm just like, what? Nobody recognises me. I don't bump into anybody. I turn around and it's Simon Denning from Push the Point. I'm like,
there you go.
Oh my god,
iconic.
Yeah, it was awesome to see Simon. It's awesome to see you, fella. But yeah, it just crazily rushed off our feet trying to hit the times where we had everything booked in. But yeah, it was really nice to bump into Simon. But yeah, now feet are on the ground. We're moving. We're finally moving. The paperwork has gone in, so hopefully 8 weeks from now, 8 to 10 weeks from now, let's keep our fingers crossed, I might be in new Baz territory. I should have sort of like an office, a better office and a playable space. And
none of you at home will be able to tell because the banners will look the same. That's the important part.
Yeah, I won't move the camera because it just looks like a complete hellhole in here. So right, cool. The magic of telly. Righty. So let's do the congratulations first because obviously we've had all the national seasons. So Aaron Boyan, UK national champion with gravy bones. He put in over 80 draft games leading up to the UK nationals. Oh my God. I was singing his praises all the way through this year. So happy that he was back. Couldn't believe that he made it into the final, but I'm so happy for him. It's just unreal. So well done, Aaron. Sweden, Nicholas Bengtsson on Syndra. Well done to Nicholas. You can catch that on the Fab Sweden YouTube channel. And Dylan Thompson for Ireland. Arachne slipped through the cracks. 3 times national champion. Oh, that's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well done to you, Dylan. A fantastic achievement.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done anything back-to-back, let alone back-to-back-to-back. So, yeah, impressive stuff there from all the folks involved. I was a little upset to see Tim not quite manage to win that final against Aaron, but if he's got to lose it to someone, I can't pick many better people. So, yeah it was...
the most amazing thing was Tim actually got Aaron back into the game. So Aaron, I like to call him the old guard, dropped out, and Tim, pestered, the Cardiff local gaming store in Cardiff while he was there at university. Got that geek retreat to start stocking Flesh and Blood, and yeah, pulled Aaron back into the game.
It's a heck of a community. I think the biggest endorsement I can give about this national championship season this time around was just the amount of events I was watching, ours included here in the UK, where I just saw a feature match get paired and I didn't want anyone to lose. And that should tell you about the quality of person we're talking about and the camaraderie behind that as well. So yeah, we're really good season, I think.
Yeah, I think as and Ian Holland did a cracking job with the commentary for that. It's hard, 2 days constantly talking. It's a hard
Trust
job
me.
to do.
Yeah, not easy. Fully appreciate them giving me the day off and letting me go and play nationals, which I certainly made the most of, I promise. By the way, do not draft Puffin in high seas. Entirely unrelated topics, but
yeah, indeed. Yeah, Puffins didn't do too well. Seemed to be Marlins. Marlins were more favoured.
Yeah, CC went fine for me. Drafts, not so much, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, gives you more time to write articles, mate. That's what it does.
Oh, really? I didn't realise people were helping me out. Someone should have said something before they beat the crap out of me. Oh, well.
Right, okay, but we're here for the skirmish season.
So we are.
Yeah, let's get some paperwork out of the way. So please subscribe to the channel. That's the best thing that you can do. It helps with the YouTube algorithm if you leave a comment and give a thumbs up. Lets other people that are like-minded like you find this content. But if you want to support me further, I have a Patreon. You can get 10% off of Buy the Same Token Flesh and Blood tokens, which you will see on the recorded games and streams that we've done. At Thistle Tavern, you get 10% off Flesh and Blood singles. So well worth checking those out, especially with Guardian Mastery Pack and Super Slam coming out. And PCG is now a straight 10% discount off of any orders at PCG to get your grading done. So especially if you want to keep your marvels nice and shiny and in a protective case. Right, but we are going to go on to Crack, Shuffle and Play. Crack, Shuffle and Play is one of the new formats for this Blitz season. And here we go. It's a bit difficult, sort of like to put who's playing who, because
this is going to be a tough one.
They are literally playing the same hero, so super difficult. David Anderson, I haven't got anything on him. Stefan Pearson, we've seen before, he's got an RTN and a skirmish. Jacob Nielsen, he's got a Pro Quest and a skirmish, and Shahin Gorbani has got a skirmish as well. So well versed in the skirmish season, and congratulations to Jacob Nielsen. Well done indeed. Thoughts on Crack, Shuffle, Play?
I have not had the pleasure of playing the format yet. I took a bit of time to play Smash Palace, which I admittedly am very impressed with in terms of treating it like a board game. I had a lot more fun than I thought I was going to with Smash Palace. But Crack, Shuffle, Play itself, sadly, haven't had a chance to dabble. I am skeptical. I would like to be wrong. I'm going to give it a fair shake when I get a chance because it's only fair. But I do feel like there's not a lot of replayability there. So if you have opinions on that and you've played Crack, Shuffle, Play, please do let us know in the comments, especially if you're in these events. Because I really would like to hear what you have to say about the format and how you feel about it so far, because I have my concerns.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of feel like this should be combined with Smash Palace. I know they had Crack, Shuffle and Play with Bright Lights. I actually like that set, being a mechanologist player, and I've got 3 heroes to choose from. This, you're limited to basically Volder. At least with, Smash Palace, you're playing multiple heroes. So, gives you a chance.
There is that. I think sadly the kind of event deck that is inside Smash Palace doesn't really translate over to something competitive, which is a bit of a shame. Probably why we're kind of seeing Crack, Shuffle, Play here, but yeah, very eager to hear people's thoughts, because if I very rarely want to be wrong, but this is probably one of the things I would like to be wrong about. I want it to be a good experience, because onboarding people with 3 packs of cards is much easier than convincing them to buy a classic constructed deck. So
yeah, absolutely.
Keen to hear opinions.
Absolutely, and then you know what I mean? It's down to the deck. You can't say, oh, your hero's got a broken power. Everyone's playing with the same one. So really good to learn the game with. But let's go on. We got another one. Dice and Destiny in Canterbury, 8 players. Ross Chapman, I've got nothing on him. Toby Beckham, Skirmish under his belt. Finley Shepherd made it as runner-up at Battle Hardened Liverpool with Bolton. So, a good warrior player. But Toby took this one down with an unlikely hero. Volder Bright Axe.
Shocking, honestly. Yeah, had the pleasure of bumping into Finley a few times. Pretty darn good Bolton player, but coming up just short here. Congratulations to Toby instead. Clearly, Bolton and Volder, not much cross compatibility there. That's all we've learned so far today.
And our last one, Dice Cup in Nottingham, 12 players, so a fantastic turnout for Dice Cup. Noah Hicks, no stranger to getting into top fours, RTN, ProQuest and 2 skirmishes. Darren Hazelden, welcome back Darren, he took a little bit of a break, 2 skirmishes under his belt. Maciek Walensikowski has got a Baz Brawl 3 under his belt. So well done, Maciek, the one that everybody wants to win, the Baz Brawl.
That's the one event out there.
Yeah, he's not played for a while. So, yeah, really glad you're back, Maciek. Some people call him Matsky as well. They might know him as that. All right.
Cool, good to know. Yeah, happy to see Darren back as well. Darren will be happy to know that while he may have ruined my national championship draft 2 years ago, I did a great job at ruining it all by myself this time. So don't worry, got you covered.
Never mind. Righty, so let's get into the bread and butter, the Blitz format. These are the heroes and where they're sitting for Living Legends. So Dory is top of the tree, followed by Bravo, Blaze, Zen and KO. Now, last time in the skirmish season, Bravo picked up 4 points. He picked up 1 win. At least if he picks up 1 win, he's got a whole host of cards. Look, he's got a whole host of cards. If he picks up a win, it's going to be like 6 points. It's like 1.5 points. He may get over the line in like 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? Because Blaze, Zen and KO should be picking up a whole host of points this season.
Yeah, I admire the ambition. I'm a little less sold on Zen, funnily enough. I think the deck is fine, but which sounds really wild to say given where he used to be. But I'm not super impressed with the deck in the current Blitz format. I do think Blaze is far and away the best thing you can be doing, Stormstriders or otherwise. She doesn't have those fancy boots anymore, but I think the deck is just fundamentally attacking the format on a different axis and punishes a lot of different decks. Your Bravos, your Arachnes, your Guardians in general, just really do not want to be staring down a Blaze. Is a bit of a problem. KO, however, yeah, should put on a really good showing. I think definitely still a deck that's got plenty of legs in the format, alongside the likes of your Prisms, your Dash databases, your Data Dolls that we've seen a few times over the years as well. Kind of the names I'm expecting to see as we go through these Blitz skirmishes.
Yeah, Blaze dominated the last Blitz season.
Yeah. I am expecting it again, admittedly. I know some bias is probably going to come in here as we go through these events, because I do think she is far and away the best thing you can do in the format. I do think, unfortunately, her cost to entry is a bit prohibitive if you don't own an Eye of Ophidia, however, and that probably puts some number of people off. But thankfully, you've just had to buy one of those for Gravy Bones anyway, so don't worry about it. It's probably fine.
Well, some people might say cost to entry was quite high for her anyway, as she was locked behind a convention. But I mean, is what it is.
Yeah, thankfully the hero itself isn't quite so bad anymore in terms of price. It's still not cheap, but yeah, there are bigger offenders, which is not a compliment, to be clear.
No. So let's go on to Dragon's Lair. Let's go. This is our first Blitz one. Dragon's Lair in Stockholm, Sweden. 8 players. Now, people who have watched the Met Report for quite a few years will know 8 players is kind of like the average you're getting for a Blitz tournament, okay? Anything more than 8, fantastic. 8 is the minimum to fire an event, or should be. So, to Blaze, as we said, she's going to be a very popular pick with Terra was actually quite popular last year with a very fatiguey deck. Whether or not he can fatigue everybody else out is another thing. But Guardians, 25% of this meta breakdown.
Yeah, fair to say. The Earth Heroes don't have Crown of Seeds anymore, which is also a pretty big knock in that department. A lot of decks I expected here, though. Bravo is really the outlier. You're a brave soul, but of course we are in Sweden, so Guardians will arrive. That is just how things work in that neck of the woods. But yeah, Terra, Florian, both defendable picks, both got some appeal. I do think Arachne Web of Deceit is a little surprising to me too. I expect Solitary Confinement to be the one that gets picked by most people. So very cool to kind of see Mario Light finding a home down here as well. But yeah, good selection, good variety. Can't complain.
Yeah, I kind of feel that people have forgotten a bit about Solitary Confinement. We'll see that as we go through. It's not been very well represented at all, which is
no. Sadly, I think that's Blaze's fault. I think the deck is very strong, but Blaze does kind of eat you alive, which is a bit of a problem.
Okay, let's see the top 4. We have Christopher Lindholm. We have Erica Forsloff. Erica's got an RTN tucked under her belt, and she's got playing Blaze. Italo Molina on Arachne Web of Deceit, and Nicholas Astor on Terror. So, we mentioned these beforehand, or you mentioned them, and they make it into the top 4. So, yeah.
That they do. Erica on Blaze is a deadly combination. I believe she has a battle-hardened finish on Blaze, if I recall correctly. Might not be a battle-hardened. Maybe I'm giving you too much credit, Erica, but something. You've done well on something in Blaze. So the deadly combination one way or the other. I can't imagine Florian is quite as happy about this matchup as maybe they used to be. So I think I probably will back Erica on that side of the equation. Terror versus Web of Deceit is a bit more of an interesting matchup. I have to assume the Web of Deceit deck is somewhat similar to Marionette in Classic Constructed and is playing a lot of dagger buffs. And if that's the case, I would think that Terror isn't too poor of a matchup. So let's gamble a little bit. I hope Italo here has managed to keep things going with Web of Deceit.
Okie let's see. Okie. So 1 out of 2 ain't bad, but that doesn't count until we get to this round. Hope everybody else is playing at home. See how many you can get right. Christopher Lindholm, indeed. Christopher Lindholm versus Italo Molina.
Yeah, fair play to Christopher for making it through Blaze there. Not super easy from what I'm led to believe, but I think if you can one up the Earth Guardian, you can probably one up the Earth Runeblade. So I'm gonna back Italo here.
Okie. Right, let's have a look. It was Florian took this one down.
I am rusty.
So well done, Christopher. Yeah, I think Blitz is a different kettle of fish to CC. Normally, CC, bob on.
There's a few words I could use for Blitz, but I won't. This is a family-friendly show.
Fair enough. Okay, let's whiz over to Ireland. Gamers World Dublin, 10 players. Mechanologist takes up 20%, and so does Guardian, 20% of the field for these ones. Your favourite, Data Doll's back.
Yeah, Data Doll's in there, but my actual favourite is also here, and I want to get my words on the record for this.
Okay.
If you have not played Shiana in Blitz, you are about to. They have just given her 4 Olympia specializations. The most recent set of spoilers for Super Slam is all equipment Shiana can play, and because they're all pieces of gold, they count towards the gold main estate. Mm-hmm. So you're the only person who gets to do that if you want to play some Shiana. And I have a feeling there will be some more specializations coming from Super Slam. So one to watch. Definitely worth picking up your Shiana if you haven't already. Your deck is also a blast. Yeah. Outside of that, Azalea, curious choice. Not one we see very much. I have to imagine maybe given that we're in Dublin, this might be one Conor McGrath. Just needing to feel something, but I guess maybe we'll find out. Dromai, cool pick. Always love seeing Dromai, seeing some play in some formats as well. Otherwise, a decent amount of what we would expect, I think.
Obviously, Shiana and a gold suite of equipment is not going to be available for this season, but next season.
No, sadly not.
Do you think that she is reaching that pinnacle of, oh my God, she's going to be busted?
I think we're getting closer. And I know I have a bias towards her because the deck is really fun, and I would kill to have it as an adult hero. But I think just mathematically, eventually you're going to release enough specializations that are designed to be powerful cards that something cohesive is just possible. And those cards are obviously not designed to work together. So eventually something just has to break, I think, naturally from the way that she's designed. So sooner or later, I very much expect it to be a real contender. But I guess I might be alone on that one. We'll see.
Cool. Bear with me. Sorry about that. It's when
You're all good.
It's when you have little ones. Right. Righty. Let's get cracking into the top 4. Okie dokie.
No. Of course, it's the other Azalea.
So Connor has abandoned Azalea and he's gone with KO. So Conor McGrath, let's do his record. Let's get it right. Calling Leon runner-up. That was one Azalea. 3 RTNs, 3 ProQuest, the Skirmish. Justin Walsh, on Dash database. He's got ProQuest and 2 Skirmishes. Jacob Nowicki on Azalea. I'm actually surprised, that he hasn't. I haven't got him as a record for a win because he is a top player. And then Connor Rourke on Datadol Mark II.
I'm still stuck on getting the wrong Azalea. There was only 2 people that were going to bring Azalea in Blitz, and I went the wrong way. Jakub is definitely the other one. Has recently lost their beloved in Classic Constructed, so that makes a lot of sense.
I see his drip deck though. Did you see the drip deck?
Oh yeah. Drip deck text on the Fab TCG YouTube channel. Jakub showing off a little bit there, and I'm sure you'll see them back on that one again in the future, no doubt. But yeah, I think on their side of the bracket, Azalea should, in theory, be pretty good into a deck like Data Doll. I say this through gritted teeth because Data Doll is the deck that sometimes just makes you explode. There's 2 turns of the game and they do some very, very heinous nonsense. But in theory, the things that Azalea is doing should be problematic for a deck like Data Doll. So I'm going to side with Azalea there and hope that's how that played out to avoid mental disappointment. On the other side of the bracket, KO Dash, I think, is a bit more interesting at a surface level. It is a bit of a race. It does tend to come down to a lot of Blood Rush Bellows. For some reason, Dash still has high octane in Blitz. Don't ask me why. Not entirely sure. So there's definitely some power cards there for both sides. I can see this going either way. But I want Connor to have to kill his sweetheart in the final. So I'm going to go with Connor and Jakub, and hopefully that's the story they've got to tell.
Oh, you're going with your heart. Here we go. It is a Mechanologist final. So, both heroes rushing through, trying to get as many items as possible.
I can believe that. As I say, I'm pretty certain that matchup is quite close between KO and Dash. Makes a lot of sense. But Data Doll doing Data Doll things is going to happen, and so I'm going to back them here again. I always hate saying this about Data Doll, but the sad truth is whether or not she won this game is probably in her own hands more than it is her opponent's. So it really could go either way. And sure, we'll back Connor on Data Doll and hope that it went right for multiple rounds in a row. Okie
dokie. Was it a microprocessor start? Let's find out. It was, probably. Well done, Connor. Well done indeed. Data Doll wins at Gamers World in Dublin.
Yep, yeah, 15 items in play on turn 2 will certainly do that to someone, and that's Data Doll through and through these days. She can do that kind of nonsense.
Let's go to Crew. We're going to Void Games in Crew. 13 players, so good turnout there. Mechanologist takes up 23% of the field, and Brutes take up 15%. So, there we go. Our first solitary confinement Arachne. So, yeah, it's the first of hopefully many.
Yeah, and I think this room's probably pretty good for them too, truthfully. Verdance is probably a bit difficult. Blaze is probably a bit difficult. Prism, touch and go as well. But everything else, I imagine, would be exactly what Arachne's kind of hoping to prey on, really. The KOs, the Dash databases, the Data Dolls. These are the kind of things you really do want to be seeing when you're playing that assassin. So hopefully they manage to put up a good result. With that said, Fang is a little bit surprising here. Not one we see super often in Blitz. Tends to be a little below the expectation of Warrior. But very cool to see. Hopefully they managed to put up a good result there.
Do you think he gets enough time to set up? Because he has this weird blocky game at the beginning while he tries to get his fealty up and running. He's just like, he's got 3
sadly,
games.
I think that is, I think sadly that is kind of the concern when it comes to Blitz, is that Blitz really can be a 3 to 5 turn format sometimes, sometimes even faster with how decks like Dash Database and Data Doll can play. And it's not always easy to get 3 fealty online before it's far, far too late for you to do anything with them. So definitely a bit difficult there sometimes. But good field here, really good mix. A lot of the decks we expect from this season. So should be a fairly competitive event, I think. Okay,
let's go into the top 4. Callum Elcock on Blaze. Mark Spilsbury on KO. No surprise that Mark's playing a Brute. Maciek Walensikowski is on Prism. I've touched on what his record is. Baz Brawl number 3. And Daniel Baxendale, he's won a Skirmish. And he won it, I'm pretty sure he won it on Data Doll last time round.
Yeah, I think if I'm ever going to back Data Doll at the start of a bracket, it's probably into Prism. Typically, these Boom Grenade Mechanologists are pretty good in that matchup, just from the sheer damage output tends to be a bit of a concern. Maybe things are a little different in Blitz, I don't know. But I'm probably going to be backing Data Doll on that side of things. Blaze KO. Definitely a matchup that can go KO's way if they manage to find those big Blood Rush turns early enough. But I think I will probably back Blaze in the dark due to internal bias. So we're gonna go with Blaze and Data Doll here.
Blaze and Data Doll. Okay, right. 50-50.
Blitz is wild. What a format.
So Mark Spilsbury versus Maciek Walensikowski. Kind of, they play together quite a lot. Because they're like based in Coventry, go round quite a lot, or they used to. But like I said, Maciek's back for this season anyway. So and good to see him. But
makes sense. Well, I there's only one way this is going to go. If the deck that's full of some amount of sixes doesn't beat Prism, I know it's not that many sixes compared to Rhinar and Levia, but enough sixes isn't beating Prism. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. So let's go with Mark. Let's say it was KO, and I'm ready to be incorrect on the internet yet again.
Oh, you got it right. Well done. We're
Mark. Flipping 50-50 on these. I'm like embarrassing myself in the semi-finals and getting the finals right, or the other way around. It's great. I'm embarrassing myself every single event. Couldn't ask for better.
How's everybody getting along at home? Are you doing better than Scott yet? Let's
0 for 4. I'm sure they're doing fine.
Mate, you're doing better than me. I don't have to guess them. Mm-hmm. So, Geek Retreat Sunderland, 5 players. Oops. Arachne, Benji. Don't see Benji very often, considering sort of like how powerful he can be. But yeah, not the greatest field. But if that's what you've got and you're allowed to play, that's the way it is.
Yeah. Got some concerns about the one, as you say. Probably shouldn't be running these things on 5 players, but each their own.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into the top 4. Or this, obviously, a top cut wasn't played. These matchups I've just plopped in. Okay, so we'll get to the top 2 players. Paul Goodchild, he's got a skirmish under his belt. He's on Levia. Ryan Gardner is on Benji. Craig Johnson's on Arachne, solitary confinement. He's got 4 skirmishes. And Elliot Chaxfield is on Florian. So the top 2 players are Paul Goodchild on Levia and Craig Johnson on Arachne, SC. Who do you reckon took it? Because you've seen the entire field, all right? You saw the entire field.
I don't know who number 5 was. I mean, I don't know who that person's name is, at least. But,
but you kind of can see the matchups.
Yeah, for sure. This is curious. This is interesting.
Terra didn't make it.
Feels bad. Unlucky whoever that was. Yeah, I don't know enough about this matchup, to be honest, to be entirely sure. I feel like Levia is probably pretty eager to do some blocking in the early game, which does give her some amount of counterplay to Arachne. Yeah, I'm a bit in the dark on this one, to be honest. It's not a matchup I've played very much, so I'm going to back Paul on Levia and trust my gut instinct there.
Oh, is his guts right? It is. Well done. Well done, mate.
Broken clock twice a day, something like that.
Indeed. What's that put you on? 3, 4, something like that? You got it right.
So yeah, doing all right.
Yeah,
could be worse. So I've done worse. You can go back and check if you want. It's there's evidence of it.
Okay, so we're on to the biggest event of the weekend. 26 players at Darksphere. Oh my God, what a turnout! Fantastic.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Brilliant. They pull in some numbers at Darksphere. Whatever you're doing down there, Dave, carry on, because fair play to you, mate. 26 players for a skirmish. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, Scott, we didn't do this at the beginning when we were talking about Blitz. If you were playing Blitz, who would you be taking?
Blaze. I would be playing Blaze.
Okay, right. I said she was my favourite.
Not so much my favourite. I actually do enjoy the deck. I shouldn't say that I don't, but I am a firm believer she is the best thing in the format. That said, we didn't talk about Aurora. And I know that's a pretty common choice for folks as well, evidently, based on the attendance here at Darksphere. She's not available in CC anymore, so you got to play her somewhere. And it turns out, when your opponent's got 20 life, all those nonsense things you could do in Classic Constructed, they're still pretty nonsense, weirdly enough. And they're rather good. So not shocked to see that. Probably not a bad thing for the Arachne Solitary Confinements to see, with the abundance of Rune Blades around. I have to imagine that's kind of an interesting matchup for them, and I would lean that way. Outside of that, a couple of interesting one-offs. The Berserker run, as always, is a personal favorite for chaotic nonsense in a format like Blitz. Always happy to see that. One of Phi, one of Enigma. Definitely some more unconventional choices, and I'm hopeful they managed to have a good day at the office.
Yeah, if I was going to Blitz, I would take KO Berserker run. I just want to get that 10-foot tall and bulletproof, 20 damage. And as long as I get it off once, I'll be quite happy. Rune Blades take up 26% of the field. Obviously, Aurora has taken up the maximum there. First time we've seen her out of all this coverage so far. Brute's 15%. But a new team has emerged in London called Team Tempo. Now,
I see.
5 members of the team made it into the top 8. So well done to you, Steve Charlick, Alex Teague, Andrew Moore, Zach Murray, Camille Zerick. So well done, guys, for all your hard work, because you've been practicing like mad. Let's get into the top 4. This is the top 4. Richard Hayden on Aurora. Zach Murray, he's got a skirmish under his belt and he's playing Florian. Ed Cardle, the man who makes all buy the same tokens for Flesh and Blood tokens. He's on Aurora. And Andrew Moore on Blaze.
Well, long-time fans of the show will know that I have had a bit of a friendly competition about the Aurora-Florian matchup in the past. Some people claim it's Aurora favoured. I have always claimed it's Florian favoured. I am going to continue to claim that and continue to embarrass myself on the internet. So we're going to go with Zach Murray on that side of the bracket, just solely for my own self-respect.
Sure.
On the other side, I will disrespect myself entirely and continue the Blaze propaganda until morale improves. So we're going to go with Blaze and Florian here this time around. Let's see how we do.
Okay, you are correct. Righty.
Time to flub the final. All right, we've established I can't get it all right. But I've made my bed, so I will lie in it. The Blaze propaganda will continue until morale improves. So we're going to be going with Blaze in this final as well.
Okay, would you agree with Scott? Because Scott's right. Well done, Scott. Well done.
Okay, the propaganda might be able to stop now.
You believe in Blaze and she made it. So well done indeed,
do.
Andrew. Well done. And the new team you're in, Team Tempo. Right, okay. Protech Games, Stockton-on-Tees, 12 players. Now, before we get into this game, gaming world was, well, the UK gaming scene was pretty much rocked by the sad news that Lee Dalton passed away. Yeah, I'm getting quite upset myself now. But fantastic guy, absolutely supported me through and through, and my brother, when we were setting up team tournaments. You'll be missed, absolutely missed. Yeah.
Yeah. To say my piece there, of course, not a lot of people know that Lee was one of the first people to give me an opportunity in the Flesh and Blood scene. And I was vending the very first UK National Championship because he asked me to be a member of staff behind that booth and offer my experience to Protech Games. I always considered us both to be good friends. Unfortunately, due to some of my own history, we lost communication just from me not working for the store that I was working for anymore. And to find out secondhand that someone who has frankly been a bastion of the Flesh and Blood community, and I mean, every gaming community under the sun, to be quite honest, has unfortunately left us was pretty heartbreaking. And I just want to say thank you to all the people who took the time to support Protech Games for this event. The family in general, to be honest, they've definitely needed it. And yeah, Lee, I can never thank you enough, because I don't think the building blocks for where I am right now really fall into place if you don't give me a chance to sell cards at UK Nationals. So rest in peace, my friend, and thank you for everything you've ever done.
Indeed. Righty. Right, let's get to the meta breakdown. 4 brutes. Brutes, they love brutes up north. Especially Tom Barnaby Pass. Whether or not he's playing a brute today, we shall see. But what do you think of this this meta?
Yeah, healthy mix. Couple interesting ones to spot. Some welcome to Wraith diehards here with the Bravo and the Dory. Just trying to be the ones to score those 6 points. You may have alluded to before. Lexi, not a common choice, but I do think is slightly under-respected in Blitz as a format in general. 2 copies of Verdance, bit interesting. She was definitely a big player in Blitz a little while ago, but the metagame doesn't necessarily favour her quite as much as maybe it once did. So surprised to see 2 copies of her here. Hopefully they have a good showing as a result. But yeah, this is definitely KO Town UK over at Protech Games.
I do like it that in Blitz season you see heroes that you haven't seen in absolutely ages. Like, you know, when you see Lexi, you're just like, oh yeah, Yeah, we can play it. When you see Dromai, oh yeah, we can play it. Oh, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Let's see who makes it into the top 4. Okay, so Adam Collins on KO. He's got a Calling Liverpool Commoner win, an RTN and a Skirmish. Craig Johnson playing Arachne again. 4 skirmishes, we touched on that earlier. Leslie Baker on KO and Tom Barnaby Pass. He does like to play a bit of Guardian as well, and here he is. Will he get Bravo 6 much needed points?
Yeah, lovely to see a Bravo making a push. I would like to see him finding some success with his new cards. I do think the KO matchup is a bit difficult for Bravo overall. So while my brain is telling me to vote for Leslie, my heart is telling me to vote for Tom. So that's what I will be doing.
Okay.
And hopefully Tom manages to take down what is, in my opinion, a bit of a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of things, KO Arachne is really quite intriguing. I think it's one of the more methodical matchups you could find in Blitz, because again, these big power turns from KO, they are devastating, but they do require card density. So Arachne kind of has the ability to meaningfully interact with Bonds of Agony, Persuasive Prognosis, these kind of cards. So I think I'm going to lean towards Adam Collins this time, but I could definitely see it going either way. So we'll go Adam and Tom.
Okie dokie. Adam and Tom. It was a 50-50 there, mate. Craig Johnson getting through on Arachne, and Tom Barnaby Pass getting through what you said was a difficult matchup on Bravo. So, can Tom get through Arachne?
I think they can, and I think I won't be able to look at myself in the mirror if I pick Craig. So we're gonna be going with Tom, and we're gonna hope that I'm right.
Oh dear, you better not be looking at Craig. Craig Johnson took this down with Arachne, solitary confinement. Well done, Craig. So commiserations there, Tom. Would have been nice to get some points on the board for Bravo, but well done for Craig. I'm not taking your win away from you at all, mate. Well done.
No, 100%. I do think, as we kind of alluded to before, I think Arachne is maybe being a little bit under-respected just because of that Blaze matchup. There wasn't an abundance of Blaze here, so I expected them to do quite well. And I think it's a good pick from Craig, and clearly they played pretty well to get through the field they were in. So.
5 skirmish wins now. So, fantastic skirmish specialist. Well done, Craig. Well done indeed.
Got somebody's number. Well done. Well done.
Let's go to Lowestoft. Skyward Fire Games in Lowestoft. It is the most easterly point in the UK. If you want to go to Nest Point, that is the most easterly you can get. It was Brute territory. We're in sort of like, Norfolk area. It is Ipswich area. It is sort of like Brute country. But Gravy's raised his head for this one.
Yeah, Gravy is a cool choice. I'm not entirely sure how Gravy functions in Blitz, to be honest. I have to imagine the things you're doing are still pretty good, but no experience there, so we might be flying a bit blind as to Gravy's matchup spread. Otherwise, I think kind of we're seeing what you were alluding to earlier coming into full effect a bit here. No Blaze in this room. It's just not super easy to pick up that deck. And that kind of lets decks like Arachne shine in a room like this. I would definitely want to be one of the Arachne players staring down KOs and Dash databases and the like. Looks like a pretty good field other than that. Again, a couple of unique choices. I'm surprised by how much Bravo we've been seeing. Maybe he really has gotten some juice from Mastery Pack Guardian. Not sure. But definitely turning up more than I expected.
Maybe people just want to play with the new cards, and he's just like, yep, I remember what Bravo was like. I've just, go for it. He's got a few more Crush cards now, so why not?
True.
Brutes take 29% of this field, and Assassins 21%. Shall we see who's in the top 4? Here we go. It is Lewis Chapman on Levire. He won the last one. ProQuest. Henry Burles, he's got an RTN, and he won it on Dashio. So, these players have gone back to the roots, playing the young ones. Jack Bradbury on Syndra and Jack Nichols on Florian.
So I'll start with the side of the bracket I feel more confident about, and that's definitely Florian Syndra. The matchup is definitely winnable for both parties, but I do think it's the kind of thing Syndra wants to see, especially in a format where there is just less likely to be erased faces and things lurking in Florian's deck. So I think I'm going to lean towards Jack on the Syndra side of things for that side. Levia Dash Database I think is a bit more interesting. Pretty clearly happy to block aggressively against Dash early to fill that graveyard up with stuff. But Levia does have to flick that switch eventually and try and turn the corner, and it does give Dash a bit of a window to dump heinous amounts of damage. So I'm going to lean towards dash on this side, but I'm very much expecting to be wrong about this one. So we'll go dash Syndra here.
Dash Syndra, you are 100% correct.
Okay, that makes sense. We're somewhere on the ballpark. This one's going to be a bit harder to guess, though. This is very much going to be a bit of an aggro spuff off, as we say, with both players kind of just going for the jugular. Typically, in those situations, I tend to lean towards Dash Database, just because the power of Brim Grenade does tend to sway the matchup in their favor. They are a little bit faster. With that said, if you don't find those grenades, Syndra will be faster on account of Flick Knives doing the incidental damage over the course of the game. So definitely need the deck to cooperate a bit, but in a world where it does, I think I'll lean towards Henry on Dash.
Henry on Dash. Let's see. It was Syndra. Jack on Syndra. Well done, Jack. Well done indeed. Righty. There's more. There's more to come. We're over. Welsh Pool, Cosmic Collectibles, 10 players. We have a Bravo Flattering Showman.
We do.
One off.
I think this is a hero that is being a little under-respected, honestly, because they're sitting in that starter deck and maybe not being considered quite as much. But I do think there's a lot of game to this deck, and I look forward to seeing what it can do in the future. The question really is, how much Blaze is around you again, unfortunately, because Guardians just don't like these pesky wizards, and that one might be a bit more of a problem. But happy to see someone picking it up.
Do you think there's a potential for the Starvo effect +2 and dominate? That's what your special power.
Yeah, it's obviously not quite as potent as Starvo, thank the heavens, frankly. But there is some power there. There's pretty clearly just a good hero ability. I think it's a great place to teach the game as well. So, as I say, I think the deck has got some potential. I don't think it's going to be warping Blitz all of a sudden. But probably something that's worth trying if you enjoy Guardian, at least.
Nice. Let's see who makes it into the top 4. Ryan Jackson on Levia. He's got a Skirmish under his belt. Ben Emmanuel on Blaze. Daniel Curry on KO Berserker Run. Good on ya. And Hannah Hancock on Florian.
Now, I know I may have previously claimed that the Blaze propaganda doesn't need to continue, but unfortunately it's going to. I think this matchup is pretty hard for Levia, honestly. She does need to get those cards into the graveyard to kind of start doing her thing. And Blaze is not interested in letting you put them there most of the time. Blaze is pretty happy at just doming you with arcane damage and making you put them back into your deck, which is a bit of an uphill battle from my own personal experience.
Okay.
There is obviously a lot of spell void and stuff you can play as Levia, which does go some ways towards that, but I find myself leaning towards Ben on Blaze on that side. On the other side, KO Berserker Run. It's like trying to predict which way the wind is blowing. As much as I'm sure Hannah's an incredible player, and I really hope they had a fantastic result, I don't know how much the fact Florian was the other hero mattered in this matchup. So I guess we'll find out. I would like Daniel to keep things going to represent the original chaotic broods, but your guess is as good as mine. So we'll go with Blaze and KO.
Yeah, as much as it can go well for KO Berserker Run, it can go horribly wrong. But
it certainly can.
We shall see. It is Ben versus Daniel, Blaze versus KO. So do the high rolls keep coming, or has Blaze got something to say?
I have no idea, Baz. I don't know how you're supposed to predict this. This is Blitz distilled into a single matchup. I could lean into either of my recurring jokes here, but I will let the Blaze propaganda continue for one more round, and we'll see if Ben managed to take this down.
Blaze propaganda, eh? Oh my goodness! Well done, Ben. Well done indeed. Blaze.
Is it propaganda if I'm correct? I don't know. Just looking pretty good to me.
Yeah, the high rolls didn't continue for Daniel. Oh man, would have been good. Would have been good to have that
Close
little
but
report
no cigar.
Win with a 20. Well, 10-foot tall.
If you're looking for a high, unlike any other, go play against an assassin like Arachne and Blitz. Let them codex the 10-foot tall back into your arsenal for you, and then turn it into a 20. It's one of the best feelings you'll ever get in card games.
That's what thank you for that. Appreciate the game.
Cheers. Yeah, I had no intellect anyway, so it's fine. Yeah.
Right, we are going into Living Legend now. Sort of like Living Legend is the other format for our skirmish season. It's been picking up popularity. It has had some balancing issues, we shall say. You know, obviously when it first came out, we like Starvo, top of the tree. Everyone's playing Starvo. You know, people who were watching the stream at Barcelona, not the stream at Barcelona, the results from Barcelona, the first Living Legend one was Starvo top 8. You know, Brian was on it straight away. We've had Chain come in. Chain and his Runegate dominated the last Living Legends. Let's see who is going to dominate this time. If you were going to Living Legend, who would you be playing?
That depends if I'm trying to win, to be honest with you, Baz.
Okay.
Right,
okay. Knowing you,
sad truth.
You would be, because you...
I don't know about that. I've certainly made some questionable choices in the past. No, I do actually think Living Legend is starting to look pretty sharp. I was quite impressed by the Battle Hardened at Singapore. I think it was pretty diverse, very interesting to watch. And I do think the most recent set of adjustments have really kind of pulled things in line, added a lot of variety to Living Legend. I'm sure that will, maybe change as players start getting closer to Worlds and start really refining those Living Legend deck lists and figuring out what's what. But for now, I'm quite impressed. In terms of what would I play, it would be Icelander if I was trying to have fun, because it's always Icelander, and I miss my girl dearly. If I was trying to win, I think it would probably be Dash.io at this moment in time, to be honest. I think Dash and Briar are both pretty high on my list of decks I like in the format right now. And I have a lot more familiarity with Dash of those two. And yeah, I've missed high octane system reset 83 damage combos akin to Sam Sutherland. So if you're going to give me the chance to do those, I'll give them a shot. So probably would be Dash. How about you, Baz? What would you be playing in Living Legend?
I would just play Starvo. The thing is, I had Starvo. I had the Starvo deck when Starvo was a thing, and we lent that deck out, and I never played it during the actual, classic constructed phase. So now, we have Starvo back in the folder. I just want to play him because I missed playing him the first time round, and it doesn't matter what he's just fun to play. He is so fun to play. And most people know me. You know what I mean? I'm quite happy sort of like slinging cards down, getting a few wins. I know I'm not a top player, but sort of like, if I can get my crayons lined up, I'm more than happy. So yeah, I just want to do a big bonk. That's literally it. KO with his 20 damage, 10 foot tall, bulletproof. Starvo with his stupid damage output. Yeah, it would be Starvo.
Yeah, I can respect that. I think the deck has still got a lot of legs. It's definitely more in line with the rest of the format right now, but it definitely still feels like a contender, unlike, say, Chain, who definitely took a bit of a stern beating with the most recent list and has fallen pretty heavily out of favour. So, yeah, not a bad shout.
Okay, so let's see. Let's start with Sweden. Bitsboxen in Karlskrona, Sweden. 8 players, 2 Iras. Now, is this because of Nabe? He won the Living Legend in Singapore, didn't he?
In Singapore? Yeah. Yes, certainly did. And I would imagine that's definitely played a pretty big role in this. Long story short, this deck's really good. It is a very powerful contender. You should be considering it if you're playing Living Legend. There's a reason they proactively suspended Zephyr. The things you can do in this deck are pretty egregious and do enable some very, very powerful turns when things come together. So yeah, expect to see plenty of Ira throughout this Living Legend season, I would have thought. Aurora... sorry,
is that because of the new arm piece? Because that would have been out when Nabe did his
not so much, because Zephyr Needles need flick knives to kind of do their full things. So you want to be flicking the knives away before they shatter and stuff. So typically a flick knives deck at its core.
Right.
Aurora actually a bit of an unusual choice. I think a lot of people prefer Briar right now, just for the additional Earth goodies. Chao Mao Heroic, Regrowth Shock is a big one. And Aurora's maybe not even the best Skyward Serenade deck, because that card's very good in Briar as well. So definitely had a bit of a period of popularity in around Worlds last year. I know a lot of the Team Living Legend events players were playing Aurora then, but we haven't seen all too much of her since. Otherwise, a lot of the big heavy hitters of the past here. I am surprised to see a Chain, because I really don't rate the deck at all right now, but I would love to be wrong. Otherwise, yeah, pretty much what I expected here.
Cool. Let's go into the top 4, or these are the top 4 players. This isn't a matchup because obviously they didn't have a top cut. Christian Kerr on Ira, Jarl Asland on Zen, Eric Hasselgren on Aurora, and David Soderberg also on Ira, and he's won a skirmish prior to this. So let's see who the top 2 players are. So the top 2 players on the day is Kristen Kerr on Ira and Eric Hasselgren on Aurora. So who do you think took this event down?
I think this is one of the things I really like about Living Legend right now is while I can sit here and say I think I prefer Briar, there's valid reasons to take Aurora into the format and player, which we can see pretty clearly here from Eric. I feel like Aurora's probably pretty happy to play into Ira. The damage output of Ira is pretty high, but I mean, it is for Aurora too. Aurora's fine playing solid defense reactions, has the ability to break the needles in a pinch if they want to try and play that kind of game. And the aggressive versions of Ira with Zephyr Needles, they're not happy to block very often. And that kind of leads to these Channel Lightning Valleys and burn up shocks being a bit of a problem at the best of times, given the fragile equipment suite. So I think I'm actually going to lean towards Eric here on Aurora.
Okie dokie. Let's see. It was. Well done, Eric, indeed. Takes it down with Aurora. Let's go a little bit closer to home. We're going to go back to the UK. EH Gaming. 8 players, bit different.
Yeah, we can kind of see some regional preferences here. Again, Briar is kind of the deck I expect in terms of Rune Blades. I think I think it's the most powerful. I think that's up for debate. That's a genuine question. I do think it is going to be the most popular, though, mostly just off of recent results and people's preferences to play the deck. So not shocked to see that. Of course, Starvo coming out of the woodwork here. One of Brave Icelander, which I'm always going to be happy to see. Sadly, wasn't me, but a massive respect to whoever it was. This one Prism is going to be pretty happy about the 2 wizards that are in this room, I imagine. But yeah, I think this is very much bread and butter Living Legend. None of these heroes look out of place.
Okie dokie. Top 4 time. Tilly Dakin on Prism. Tom Ward on Briar. He's won a skirmish before. Tom Gordon on Zen. Always plays a ninja. And Jules Dixon on Icelander.
Very nice. Okay.
This wouldn't be a top cut because there are only 8 players.
Sure
so let's go to the top 2 players. So Briar versus Zen, sorry, not Den. A Tom v Tom final.
Tom Mirror. Really difficult.
Indeed.
But we have a tried and true method in the name mirror match. The heroes no longer matter. Whose surname comes first alphabetically. You know the rules. So while I actually don't think I would lean this way if I was not being a showman, we're going to go for Tom Gordon here on Zen and see if the legend holds true.
Okay. Tom Gordon once texted me and he just went, I really want to win an event and I can't because Rob Catton's always at him. So but you got your chance today. Got your chance today, Tom. Did you do it? Sadly,
no.
Tom Ward, well done, Tom. Briar taking this one down. You mentioned earlier, Briar is one of the best picks, for Living Legend, and she took this event down.
Yeah, I think that's the way I would have lent if I was trying to analyze the matchup. In honest to God truth, Embodiment of Earth is just a really potent tool to have when you need to be blocking specific chain links and chase the tails and maximum momentum triggers potentially, but not really out of Zen because you're a traverse deck. So yeah, just things. If you're both playing the aggressive game, one of you blocks much better than the other. Tends to be the tiebreaker there.
Yeah, aggressive players block. What's going on? Just punch.
You do when your cards block 4. So it makes it a whole lot more easy to rationalise.
Right, let's go to Huddersfield Gemini Games. 9 players for this event. A little bit different again. We've got an Acilio this time.
Indeed. 4 of these players after my heart, both of my choices, pretty happily represented at the top of the room here. I love Acilio in Living Legend. People don't talk about this deck enough because it kind of gets overshadowed by the other wizards who are a little more dominant. But Acilio is a large part of the reason why Tome of Aetherwind and Tome of Fiendo aren't legal in Classic Constructed anymore. This deck in Living Legend will just kill you in 1 turn. It will do its Gone in a Flash thing. You will take 140 damage and you will die. It is very potent when it does its thing, and it's surprisingly consistent because of all those books as well. So I think it's definitely a bit of a sleeper in the format. As I say, has its pros and cons because of the other decks around it. Definitely struggles a little bit in certain matchups, but it's doing something powerful, which I think is the only qualifier that really matters in Living Legend right now.
I think when I saw this meta report, this meta breakdown, I alluded to it earlier when we were looking at sort of like a Blitz breakdowns. I looked at this one and went, "Oh yeah, new." Oh, but I didn't think she was a thing in Living Legends.
Small secret on this one. She did have a bit of a good showing in Singapore, but CYB new is the best way to play new. It always was, and it is the best home for Count Your Blessings outside of maybe Oldham in Living Legend as well. So if you're looking to do that grindy, gain all the life, transcend off your blue CYB style game plan, it is at its best here, and it is very potent. It does still hold its own in Living Legends, so a very valid choice.
Cool. Let's see who made it into the top 4. Jake Warburton. Jake the Baker Warburton has got Icelander. Ben Sampson. Jake Warburton got Pro Tour Baltimore top 8. There we go. Let's give him his dues. Ben Sampson on Dashio. Seb Ball on Briar, RTN and 3 Skirmishes. And Mike Williams on Dromai with a ProQuest.
Can't believe I've been asked to pick between my children. This is not acceptable. That said, unfortunately, I do think. Well, I'll say unfortunately, Jake's obviously a phenomenal player, and for those that don't know their history necessarily before, I actually think they qualified for Baltimore by winning a ProQuest on Icelander. So they are very well versed in the deck. They know what they're doing. I'm sure they're playing it to feel something, just like myself. And you really can put a spanner in the works of Dash.io with the well-timed Frostbite if you're able to line things up. Blizzard, same story. Channel Lake Frigid. These are all problematic cards. Now, of course, we're talking Living Legend. There's definitely going to be games where Dash just finds all those cerebellum processors and puts you in the ground. But I do think, on average, I would rather be on the Icelander side of that equation. So I'll lean towards Jake. The other side of things, this is way more interesting. Dromai kind of having a little bit of a comeuppance in the format right now as well. People remembering how much fun it is to play with dragons. I do think Briar in general should have a pretty clean lineup into this matchup. So I'm going to lean towards Seb Ball on this side of things. So we'll go Jake and Seb.
Jake and Seb. Let's have a look. You're right. Look at that.
It's almost like Living Legends a bit easier to predict than Blitz, shockingly enough.
Gives you more time to think. That's what it does.
It does. It's true. This matchup's actually really, really curious. So, little known fact. You might not know if you haven't played the matchup before, but in Classic Constructed, this was a really interesting dilemma because Embodiment of Earths give you a window to respond to. So if you let Briar hit you and make an embodiment, you will always be able to play your arsenal as Icelander at the start of Briar's turn before they make any choices to do anything because the embodiment has to die. So a lot of the matchup used to revolve around blocking for 3 on a 4 power attack, taking 1 damage, making an embodiment, and responding to it all the time. I would believe it's still a pretty relevant factor in the matchup now. However, one of these heroes has got about 15 new cards since they were both in Classic Constructed. The other one has got maybe 1 in the form of Burn Bear. And I do think the cards that Briar has gained make this matchup much more appealing. And so I'm going to trust my brain on this one. I want Jake to win this because I'm going to go ruin my own skirmish by playing Icelander if they do. But I am going to go with Seb on this side of things and see if they took it down.
Okie dokie. So Seb to win, and Seb did win. Well done. What other class would he play? He always plays Runeblade, as far as I know, anyway.
It's one of the biggest parts of Flesh and Blood, right? Everyone's got a type. Yeah. Everyone finds their class, their hero. They become specialists, and I love seeing that just kind of come to fruition time and again in these meta reports.
Yeah, well done, Seb. Let's go to Highlander Games in Dundee. 10 players. There's a couple of standouts here.
There certainly is. First of all, Highlander, great store. Big fan. Happy to see them running more fab events. That said, there's a good chance about 5 of these people didn't know this was Living Legend, which is concerning.
Are you talking about Puffin?
Oh no, definitely not. Puffin's clearly a viable Living Legend hero. No idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
That one definitely a bit surprising. Fang also a little surprising. Happy to see some Azalea representation. I don't think she's at the right power level to hang in Living Legend personally. I think she probably needs a little bit of help to get there. But of course, with her leaving Classic Constructed, I'm sure there's numerous people that have missed their hero and are likely to give it a shake in an event like this. And Bravo is a choice. When you can choose vanilla ice cream or vanilla ice cream with sprinkles, I'm not entirely sure why you would pick vanilla. But I would love to have that explained to me by whoever chose to bring it.
Maybe that's their favourite hero. There we go.
Maybe.
Righty, let's see how the top 4 shook down. Justin Lim. I didn't take out the other bits. That's not their placings, by the way. That's just the way I've done the how I do my spread. So Justin Lim on Briar. He's got 3 skirmishes under his belt. David Watt on Zen's got an RTN. Aaron Lawrenson is on Verdant, and Declan Patrick, who normally we see as a Ranger player, is playing Prism OG. He's got an RTN under his belt.
Cool to see the OG. It's always fun to see people playing the different prisms in LL, because there's a genuine discussion as to which one you are supposed to play. You definitely play Luminaris still because it's insane, but the hero might in fact differ. Unfortunately for Aaron, who fair play to you for playing Verdant's here in Living Legend, despite their lack of Kraken's Ether Vein. Prism is a bit hard.
That was a thing, yes.
Yeah, Prism is a tough matchup for you as things stand. And I will have to side with Declan there and hope that I am somehow wrong. On the other side of things, we kind of alluded to Zen and Briar a little bit earlier on. I think typically the aggressive matchups, I will lean towards the one that blocks a bit better, and that tends to be Briar. So we'll go with Yas on Briar and Declan on Prism.
Okie doke. Let's have a look. You are correct. So Briar versus Prism.
And this one is a tale as old as time, I think, because if I remember correctly, Prism successfully Living Legended by winning this matchup in Lille, even though it was meant to be exceptionally difficult. I still think it's exceptionally difficult, so I'm going to be going with Briar.
We've got a theme to this Living Legend so far, haven't we? There we go. Briar's won again. So that's 3 Briar wins for the 3 UK Living Legend events. So if you are going,
surprise me.
if you are going to Living Legend, what do you need? What should you do? What's the counter to Briar for Living Legend?
She's a really well-rounded deck, is the truth. You used to be able to kind of pick a hole by making her struggle for resources, but so many of the cards she's gained are good resource cards. So it's a bit difficult. For me, I tend to lean towards the Wizards is my immediate response. Mm-hmm. So probably leaning toward, well, I would have said Icelander before, maybe not now. The likes of Kano probably come to mind immediately. You used to be able to play Chain, but most of that came down to Carrion Husk, which isn't there anymore either. Mm-hmm. So you can pretty quickly see why Briar is becoming a favorite. I think maybe there's some appeal to like a Ninja, maybe an Ira or something. Ira comes to mind because you really want to pressure them without giving them the advantage of Embodiment of Earths. Mm-hmm. And embodiments are at their best when they're granting additional block value, so attacks that are coming in for 4.
Yeah.
And a deck like Ira is going to be able to really punish that and be like, well, okay, I'm attacking you for 3, I'm attacking you for 2, I'm attacking you for 7, and kind of deny that value strategically in spots. So those are kind of the decks that come to mind immediately. But yeah, she's one of my picks for the best deck in the format right now, just because she's really well rounded. There's not a lot of matchups you sit down and immediately panic, which is a good sign. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see the weekly results. Obviously, this will drop after the weekly results have come out, because when we record this basically an hour before LSS drop them. So yeah, we'll see. I think. Oh no, we've got one more. We've got one more. Toys and Games in Worcester. 7 players. A little bit naughty.
Tap on the wrist.
3 Briar, 2 Dromai, a Dash, and a Lexi. Oh my god!
It's nice. Always happy to see the Lexi. Oh. It's a lot of fun, especially in Living Legends. Gained a lot of new toys actually, thanks to Dry Powder Shot and similar arrows like that from the most recent set. So plenty of new toys to explore there. Otherwise, yeah, just some of the big hitters of the format that we're expecting when you're playing Living Legend. Yeah,
let's go on to the top 4. Obviously, this is not a definitive top cut. So Lewis Folks on Briar. He's got 2 skirmishes. Ben Gardner on Dromai. Oliver M on Briar and Ben Troth on Briar. He's got a skirmish as well. So let's get to the final, or the top 2 players. Okay, so no guesses for which hero.
No.
So Lewis and Oliver.
Well, the only tiebreaker I've got is that alphabetical order again. So I guess that's what we're going to be going with.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see if Lewis can keep the legend of the alphabet alive. I guess.
The alphabet skill check. Okay, did Lewis do it or not? No, he didn't. Oliver won
Unacceptable.
that. Well done, Ollie. He can win when I'm not recording him. So we need to sort that out, mate. No, fine play. Well done indeed.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Let's see how the maps shake out. This is Sweden, Florian and Aurora. No Guardians yet. They'll probably come in ProQuest, to be fair. Then we've got Ireland. We had Data Dull game as well. Well done to Connor. Then we've got the North. It's nice to see, like you did mention it, Highland Games getting something, sort of like it's normally between Aberdeen and Edinburgh, between Thistle Tavern and Mox. So it's good to see Highlander Games getting an event. Let's go to the North. Levia, Arachne, 2 Briars and a KO. I wonder how much more green briars we're going to have splattered all over the map. Again, 1 more briar, a Valda, and a Syndra. Obviously, the Valdas are because of Crack Shuffle plays. And there we have Blaze and another Valda. We'll finish it off by going to London. At Dark Sphere, another Blaze. There we go. So Blaze is winning for the most wins for Blitz. There is a smattering of other heroes, but Blaze is taking it at the minute. It'll be interesting to see what the global chart states. But if you are interested in going to a skirmish, where can you go? Today, at the day of this recording, Bad Moon Cafe's Crack Shuffle and Play, and Dark Star Gaming in Plymouth is Crack Shuffle and Play as well. So if you're there, very best of luck to you. Rising Phoenix Games in Middlesbrough, they have got a Blitz event on. So I'll have those results for you next week. Okay, but next week is also a flipping big weekend. There is so many Living Legend events. So yeah, everything in blue is Living Legend.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm a bit gutted about this because I was very excited to play some Living Legend skirmishes, but this weekend is also calling Copenhagen, and therefore I think a lot of people will be making their way over to the calling to go and give that a shot, myself included, because I'm in the booth. So no Living Legend for me this time around, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it would have been nice to be teamed up with you again, Scott, but that's just not the way the cookie crumbles. So the very best of luck to you for Copenhagen. I will be tuning in. I hope the stream goes really well. The streams have been really good the last couple of weeks. So, it should be good.
I appreciate it. And I will certainly miss you, and I will no doubt mispronounce some foreign words on your behalf.
Awesome. Thank you. As always, Scott. My God, thank you. Thank you for coming on. I gave you a bit more notice this time. So, yeah.
You did. I'm really proud of you, actually. You're improving as a person.
Organised, somewhat. It's not like I didn't have like 8 weeks to prepare myself.
No, never.
Erica, thank you so much for the results from Sweden. It was three events you covered for me. Fantastic. Justin Walsh for Ireland, and for the UK, Paul Goodchild, Darksphere Dave, Arian Sultani, Tom from Void Games, Cole, Seb Ball, Declan Patrick, Callum from Cup of TCG, Jonathan Hicks, Oliver M, and Ben Gardner. Thank you so much. I know it's been a big break, but you guys have just, knocked it out of the park again with the information you've given me. Thank you for allowing me and Scott to bring this video to you. And I'm going to give a sign off, mate. I've been practicing. I look
forward to it.
As a host.
Shame.
As a host, whether or not it works or not, I don't know. But yeah, let me know.
I should have brought some popcorn. Yeah. Let's give it a go.
So here we go. Thank you for watching, and hopefully the next tale I'll be telling is about you. Until that time, toodaloo.
Very smooth. I love it.
Yeah, it's not bad, eh?